there is ano no a breaking news na si PRRD, yung defense team ni PRRD files an urgent request for interim release.
O yun na yun. Okay. So hindi nila inantay yung decision on the question of jurisdiction. Kasi sa tingin ko noon, Joey, antayin muna nila pag the court decides that hindi nag-acquire ng jurisdiction, automatic maipauwi si Digong, di ba? Mm-hmm. Pero pag mag-acquire sila ng jurisdiction, doon na sila hihingi ng interim release. No? Providing na uuwi muna pag mayor siya at pagka nakaschedule ng trial, pupunta doon sa The Hague para i-try. Ngayon, parang because of what's happening to the ICC now, the US sanctions and everything, so baka yun, ha?
To be honest, I already know this.
Yeah, I know.
I know this.
I know.
Yung if you're gonna go back doon sa siguro yung live ko, I was talking about this na
nag-post ka nga noon nung nandun si Sen Aimee. Double agent ka talaga.
Double agent talaga. So medyo alam ko na to. It's just that it is really, I don't think it is proper for me to
I know.
Parang I think these are the things that we should just sabay-sabay nating malaman. Oo.
And also, Joey, for those na really want to be elected at gustong sumakay sa Duterte bandwagon, ay kasi wala naman silang nakikitang viable candidate from any other political color. Sa mga lanilista, walang maliban kay Raffy Tulfo, who is actually fence sitting pa rin. Or maybe Bam Aquino, pero hindi naman talaga material for president. Si Lenny siguro, gano'n, no? Dito naman sa nina Risa, gano'n din naman, 'di ba? Baka mag-split pa yung Dilawan at Pinklawan between Risa and Lenny's camp. So ikaw, kung ikaw politiko ka, you still have 1 or 2 terms to serve, or eligible ka pa for another 2 terms or another term, or halimbawa gusto mong tumakbo for another position, talagang magti-think twice ka. Kasi wala na, the immediate future of our political landscape here is the Dutertes.
Correct.
Still have Inday Sara. And then you're not even talking about Basti yet.
Correct. Who is maturing very, very fast when it comes to He's maturing very, very fast. Well, si Basti nababash siya ng bonggang-bongga nung naging vice mayor yan, and then he became a mayor. Grabe yung pangbabash dyan. But now, people are thinking twice. The Davaoenos are
they're stunned, Joey.
Yeah, very, very supportive now of Mayor Baste. He earned it painfully, ha? Hindi niya to nakuha na yung respect ngayon ng mga Davaoeno kay Mayor Baste. Hindi niya to nakuha ng madali. And contrary to popular belief, Mayor Baste was actually being bashed first year ng kanyang term as a mayor. Grabe yung bashing diyan. But towards the end of his term, he was able to prove himself. He was able to put Davao City in its best fiscal health condition. Pinakamayaman, pinakamaraming pera, still walang utang, was able to meet their targets when it comes to acquisition, was able to buy everything that is necessary according to their plan. He was able to execute everything and then some. So kumbaga, yari kayo pag lalong tumalino si Basti sa politika, di ba?
And then Joey, he did not only gain the wisdom and the sense of proper governance. He went through a baptism of fire. He went through hell while doing it.
Yeah,
kasi ang pressure sa kanya, there was even a time until now na siya lang yung mag-isa nasa Davao, and he cannot even fly to Cebu for a Maisog rally because there were threats na ire-raid yung bahay nila. At si Inday is doing campaign sorties, si Polong nandun sa the Netherlands. I mean, the difficulties that Baste had to go through while delivering and even more,
Sila rin yung nagpahinog kay Baste no? Sila rin yung
talagang parang diamond na talagang he has to be compressed by extreme heat and extreme pressure hanggang sa kasi ang criticism ni Baste noon Joey is, I think you're also familiar na kasi happy-go-lucky, he is not his father's son, 'di ba?
Mm.
Iba si Baste kaysa
Parang
kay
ano siya, yung hindi siya ganun
Oo.
kaseryoso dun sa, kasi he
Oo.
was a reluctant candidate
Yes,
nung
yes.
tumakbo
Pero
siya,
ngayon,
parang ano pinilit
pero
lang ni ate, ganyan, na
parang gano'n.
mag-mayor, ganun yung dating eh.
Pero ngayon, he is actually the closest to PRRD. The younger, more good-looking version of
Yeah.
lalong nagiging PRRD, 'di ba? Naririnig mo yung kanya, yung demeanor, yung
Oo,
words, 'di ba?
oo,
So nakakatuwa talaga ito si
oo.
Mayor Baste.
Oo, correct,
Mm,
correct. And
mm,
I'm pretty sure ano rin, isa rin 'yan sa mga wala lang silang makita talaga eh, na ah, yung I had a chance to speak with Mayor Baste before na parang
mm,
sabi ko, "Mayor, ina-expect mo ba na maano ka na ano ba yung mga ina-expect niyo na panggugurgur?"
mm.
Suspension is ano talaga, parang feeling talaga nila it is something that is gonna be done by the administration. Yun nga lang kasi wala talaga silang makitang kahit anong reason para i-suspend si Mayor. So, hindi nila nagawa, ganyan. But look at the number of local local leaders na pinagsususpend ng BBM administration sa Mindanao, sa iba't ibang parte ng
Dito
bansa.
sa Cebu.
Hindi, oo, sa Cebu, 'di ba? Ayun.
Mm,
So, pag may nakita sila na ay di ka namin kakampi and they are able to see the slightest provocation para ikaw ay masuspend slightest ground, 'di ba? Pagkatapos yung ipo-provoke mo yung current administration, eh yari ka, isususpend ka.
mm,
But they did
mm.
not do that to Baste kasi nga ayun,
Tama.
wala silang makita. Wala silang makita.
Wala
Kuya,
nga.
meron
Hmm,
akong question.
oh,
What do you think of Alan Peter Cayetano nung debate sa Senate as an
parang
impeachment?
parang may gusto, eh. Parang may, hihilingin.
Tingin
Nag
mo?
nagpapapresyo ata, eh.
Oo.
Nagpapapresyo
Nagpapapressure talaga?
or nagpapapogi, 'no? Puwedeng nagpapapresyo sa kabila or nagpapapogi sa kabila, 'no?
Oo, oo,
'Di ba?
oo. Correct,
So,
correct. Ah,
ah,
actually in fairness kay Alan Peter Cayetano, I am going to i-ano ko lang, you can go back to this, pero i-share ko lang rin yung how
hmm,
yung aking observation dito kay Alan Peter Cayetano. Kasi Alan
sige.
Peter Cayetano talaga is a smart guy, eh,
Very
matalino talaga,
smart.
oo,
Very, very
matalino
smart.
talaga. And
Very
etong performance niya dito sa debate,
hmm,
and how he reconciled the pro dismissal and pro trial dito
hmm,
sa Senate. Tapos inano niya, ang tawag dito, nilagay niya sa gitna.
hmm,
Hindi ganito lang, remand na lang natin, ganyan, ganyan. It is an exhibition of Alan Peter Cayetano's very high political IQ.
hmm.
And nakita ko kaya siguro pinili to ni PRRD as Vice President.
Tama.
Kaya siya pinili as Vice President.
Hmm,
Now, like I said, nung bino-blow by blow ko na coverage yung hearing sa Senate. Sabi ko
hmm,
nga, yung ginawa ni Alan Peter is not necessarily kumbaga what he did is a win-win situation between the group 3, yung mga Duterte, at
hmm,
saka yung sa Malacanang.
hmm,
Kasi ang Malacanang, hindi naman yan interesadong ma-impeach si Inday Sara ng mabilisan eh.
hmm,
Ayaw ng Malacanang na, it's 2025. It's too early to impeach Inday, okay? I think Malacanang would like to impeach Inday, but not now. But
hmm.
not now. Siguro yung pagkapatapos na 2026, going to 2027, ganyan. Yan yung mga gustong timing ng Malacanang. So, ang Malacanang, hindi yan super interested na ma-impeach si Inday. Why? Because if Inday is impeached, okay? If Inday is impeached, pag nagkaroon ng desisyon sa impeachment, kung ma-impeach siya na yung titirahin ngayon ng kalaban. Kasi wala na mga Duterte eh, 'di ba?
Right.
So magiging sila na yung magiging target ng ng mga yellows and ng mga pinks, and even yung cousin niya, siya na yung
Hmm,
magiging sobrang target ngayon. Okay, let us say hindi ma-impeach si Inday, magkaroon ng desisyon at hindi na-impeach si Inday.
hmm,
Yari siya.
hmm,
'Di ba? Kasi that's going to be the most powerful moment of Inday Sara. Pag hindi yan na-impeach, yari kayong lahat. And this is something that is recognized even the pinks and the yellows na
hmm.
si Hidarian nga, sinasabi niya, pag hindi nyo na-impeach yan si Inday, yari tayo. Di ba?
Yeah.
Kasi sila na-recognize na kahit sila alam nila yung reality na pag hindi nyo na-impeach si Inday, yung election natin sa 2028 is just going to be a coronation night. Okay?
Right.
Magiging coronation night na lang yan. So ngayon, I think Malacanang, and also that is the reason why Chis Escudero is yung wishy-washy dun sa magko-convene ba as impeachment court? Hindi. Kaya rin wishy-washy tong si Chis Escudero because that's what the Malacanang wants. Gusto ng Malacanang na parang, oo, gusto natin ng impeachment mga pare, pero huwag natin bilisan. Huwag natin bilisan, huwag agad-agad. Ganyan, okay? Huwag agad-agad, ganon.
Tama.
So, itong pag-remand ng impeachment case, itong impeachment complaint ni Inday back to the Congress is actually serving two groups. The Marcos Araneta group, yung mga tao sa Malacanang, okay? And the Dutertistas.
Tama.
Diba? Gusto natin yan. The remanding is the next best thing sa dismissal, 'di ba? Of course we want dismissal, pero ito pwede na rin 'to. Pwede na rin 'to kasi pwede na rin 'to.
Pwede.
Oo, pwede na rin 'to. I mean, makita nating natotorture si Tambi along the way. Why not? 'Di ba?
Lalo na yung mga pinklawan.
At yung mga pinklawan, 'di ba? Nakikita nating natotorture sila along the way. Why not? 'Di ba? So pwede to. But look at where Alan Peter Cayetano is positioned.
Right.
Good siya sa mga Duterte side and still good sa mga tao sa Malacanang.
Yes, right.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, why Alan Peter Cayetano survives Philippine politics. Diba? You know, he proved himself as one of the brightest politician because of what he did dun sa impeachment discussion na yun ng sa Senate. So, you know, ako sabi ko nga parang galing talaga galing ito ni na-impress talaga ako kay Alan Peter Cayetano dito. Not because nakampi natin siya solid or walang ganun. It was really him being and doing well. Doing well in politicking, 'di ba? Parang so ngayon, ang ang man of the hour is Alan Peter Cayetano because he kind of positioned himself to be at the good side of Malacanang and the Dutertes.
The good side of both sides.
The good side of both sides, 'di ba? Anti-yellow naman talaga 'yun si Alan Peter Cayetano, hindi naman talaga papaborin. 'Di ba? Kung meron siyang pipiliin dito at kakampihan, definitely it's not gonna be the yellow and the pinks.
Tama.
Diba? Kasi anti-dilaw talaga yan eh. Anti-dilaw talaga yan si Alan Peter eh. So what he did is, you know, totoo siya dun sa prinsipyo niya, totoo siya dun sa stand niya, tapos kung sino yung kaaway niya, yun lang ang inaway niya, which is yung yellow-pink, diba?
Pero Joey, while si Alan Peter Cayetano, yung sabi mo is man of the hour, which I agree, meron ding runner-up na man of the hour, no? Si Joel Villanueva.
Kasi
I was really surprised because I was really thinking na he was for the dismissal even if si BAC and JIL, yung kanilang simbahan, endorsed alyansa. Kasi grabe yan naka-boldjack ni Zaldico eh. Sa privilege speech niya. Noong una, parang ayaw niya sa dismissal at sa motion. At sabi pa nga niya, ayaw niya sa dismissal. Gusto niya talagang mag-proceed yung trial. Nung nagputuhan na, nasa yes siya. So, doon mo makikita na yung pagiging ano ba tawag diyan sa yung politically sly. While Alan Peter Cayetano displayed a very high political IQ, sabi mo, I agree. Ito namang Joel Villanueva nagpakita ng kanyang pagiging marunong ba, no? Yung pagiging nagmamarunong ba. But everybody saw what he actually did. So kaya nga sa mga comments doon, ang tinitira din ay si Joel Villanueva.
Well, I feel na I feel that Joel Villanueva was convinced doon sa idea of remand. Kasi kumbaga parang ang care lang naman ni Joel Villanueva is that the impeachment should not be dismissed. Kaya nga maganda yung kaya nga maganda yung yung consensus building ni Alan Peter Cayetano eh. Kasi yung pag ni-remand mo siya, hindi siya dismiss. So ngayon, yung mga nagsasabi, trial na, ganyan. Paano sila? It's not bad. Kapag ka ni-remand mo, hindi naman dismiss. Ang gusto lang naman nila hindi ma-dismiss. 'Di ba? But if you're going to divide the house and ang pag-uusapan nyo lang is dismiss or trial, hating-hati talaga yung Senate.
And they don't want to do that.
And they do not want to do that. Kasi quit tayo doon baka matalo tayo doon. Baka ang mangyari doon mag-trial. Which is something that I do not want to happen, to be honest. Ayoko ng kung maiiwasan yung trial, doon ako. Kung maiiwasan yung trial,
din.
mas doon ako.
Ako din,
Ganon.
ganon din naman tayo eh. No? Kung maiiwasan yung litigation, iwasan natin yun.
Oo. Correct. And then, because Alan Peter argued, inamend niya yung motion ni Bato na hindi, gawin natin, i-remand natin siya. So basically, yung for dismissal na ayaw ng trial at saka yung mga yung mga ayaw ng dismissal at gusto ng trial, magkikita sa gitna. Kasi yung isang grupo gusto dismiss, okay? Gusto ng dismiss kasi ayaw ng trial, okay? Yung kabilang grupo gusto mag-proceed at may trial, okay? So ngayon, hindi mo dinismiss, pero yung trial is gonna happen, we do not know when. Diba? We do not know when. So ngayon, yung mga nandun sa side, yung for example, yung side ni Joel Villanueva, ang gusto lang naman niya hindi ma-dismiss eh. Ang gusto lang niya hindi ma-dismiss. So, naging palatable sa kanya yung position. So I think that is the reason why nag-vote siya na. Sige, remand na lang natin yan. Ganun.
Pero alam mo, Joey, no, kahit wala yung remand, ang schedule ng trial, ganun pa rin naman eh. Kasi even if the presentation of the articles of impeachment happened on July 2, ganun pa rin na mangyayari. You still have to give the Vice President 10 days to reply, 5 days for the prosecution. They can even, in fact, file motions. Ni-reset ng 11, ganun pa rin. So, even if walang remand, and even as early as the calendar of Chis Escudero, na June 2 yung presentation of the articles of impeachment, nakakalendar na yan in July. Meaning, as early as 20th Congress na talaga yung
yung ang sasagot. Correct.
Pero in-emphasize lang ng Senate as an impeachment court in the 19th Congress, no, in preparation for the 20th Congress. Para sabihin naman ng 20th Congress na nag-due diligence sila, sabi mo nga kanina. Prepare na nila at hindi na sila maki-question, no? So sila na yung 20th Congress ang magdedebatehan diyan. About the
Pero ang tingin ko kasi kuya, yung schedule na sinasabi nila, hindi yan masusunod eh. Kasi it's really necessary for the 20th Congress to decide first kung i-adapt nila yung Kasi kung kunwari ako sa Office of the Vice President, ako si VP, i-impeach ako, ganyan. How can I intelligently reply sa summon ninyo kung hindi ko pa alam yung stand ng 20th Congress kung i-adapt nila o hindi? What if inadapt nila partially lang yung articles of impeachment?
3 lang sa 7 or 2 lang sa 7.
Dalawa lang or something like that, ganyan. So, how can I respond intelligently doon sa summon ninyo? So, kung ako si Inday, tapos sinamon ako, mag-reply ka doon sa impeachment complaint, ganyan. Well, ang sasagot ko diyan, I cannot decide intelligently because I do not know yet kung ano yung mapagkakasunduan ng 20th Congress, 'di ba? So, yung schedule na yun, I think it's just, a schedule so that matawag lang na meron silang schedule. But Inday cannot really do anything at this point unless or until mag-decide si 20th Congress kung ano yung gusto nilang mangyari. So, in short, talagang delay pa to, matagal pa to.
Pero speaking of schedules, Joey, no? There was an interview. Meron na palang spokesperson yung impeachment court, no? Si Attorney Ongol, no? Magaling din, no? I saw his interview kanina ni Carmina Villaruel sa ANC at tinanong siya, theoretically or halimbawa lang daw, magpatuloy sa 20th Congress, no, yung impeachment at impeachment trial. Ano daw ba yung unang gagawin at mangyayari? Parang sinabi niya na sa tingin niya pag natutuloy yan, baka susundin yung procedure na i-refer sa Committee on Rules or Senate Committee on Justice, and there will be 60 days for the committee to file a report doon submit a report sa plenary, and then yung plenary na ang magde-decide if they will take the case and then constitute themselves into an impeachment court. So by that time, you're talking about September. Tapos wala pa yung impeachment court, no? And along the way, magdedebatehan nga yan, no? So ibig sabihin, while it is impractical now sa 19th Congress, I think also in the 20th Congress kasi na in July, presentation of the National Expenditure Program of the President, the NEP, the budget for 2026, sometime in August, mag-budget deliberations na rin yan kasi dapat mapirmahan ang budget 2026 by December. So I really don't think if they will have enough time to deliberate. Well, they can work overtime, pero yun na nga, again, going back to what we were saying na yun na nga, this is a political process, no? So there will be political accommodations, no, that will be given kasi nga mga politiko yan sila eh.
Tama, ayan. So yun. May nagsabi nga dito, Attorney Tungol matanda or bata? Bata pa siya.
Yung bata. Oh, yung bata.
Bata pa to. Ito, pinost ng pinost ng, may profile si Batas PH kung sino siya. I think, wait lang.
Magaling din, litigant din siguro, magaling sa, anong tawag dito, mga procedural, magaling.
Saan na nga yun? Ito. Ay no, administrator to. Wait, sorry.
Pero yun na nga, no? Grabe yung iyakan ng mga pare.
Kasi ready na sila.
Pero Joey, what can you say about Auntie Frances? Si
yung
tinira na yung Senado. Tinira ni Auntie Claire yung Senado doon sa impeachment. Tinira naman ngayon ni Princess ang Senado patungkol doon sa 200 pesos na wage increase. So,
sumagot si Senator Jinggoy, ano?
Oo,
JV ba? Si JV? Si
Jinggoy. Si
Jinggoy, ayan.
Si Jinggoy.
Unang-una kasi, I think mali talaga yung decision ng House of Representatives to get a spokesperson. Pagkatapos kung ang gagawin ng spokesperson na yun ay makikipagbardagulan lang. You're really up for getting a lot of enemy. Kasi una, lalo na yung ganyan. Takin ako, questionin mo yung Senate. Institution yan eh.
Right.
Institution yan. Hindi naman Senate na may kasalanan dyan. Kineme, ganyan.
Right.
And if you're going to talk about Senate as an institution, automatic 24 ang kaaway mo dyan.
Exactly.
Diba? 23. Na yun, 23. Oh. Ayun, si JV daw, not Jinggoy. Teka, balikan ko.
Okay.
Wait.
And then on the flip side, pag tinira mo yung Senado na 24, bilang spokesperson ng House of Representatives, technically, lahat ng miyembro ng House of Representatives, kaaway na ngayon ng 24 senators.
Oo, correct. Well, mas kasi ang mas marami kasi ang Congress. So ngayon, ang Congress, pag in-address mo yan, sinabi ni Congressman ganito, magre-respond si Senator ganyan, ganyan. Hindi kasi yung statement kasi ni Princess dyan, sinabi niya, Senate ang kumay ng bill, di ba? Yun yung sinabi niya, ito, ayan. Si Jinggoy, ayan o.
Jinggoy nga
Si Jinggoy. Ayan. Ayun. So, ang sabi ni ni Princess, Senate killed the wage hike bills. Ayan. So, yun yung sabi ni Princess. O, sabi ngayon ni Jinggoy, siya na, excuse me, Madam Spox, ng HOR, the Senate did not kill the wage hike bill. Don't you blame us. Think before opening your mouth. Ayun. So, pagka kasi ang nagsalita, congressman, pagkatas ang sumagot, senador, it's a debate. Alam mo yun, magiging debate lang yan. Why did you say that way? Ganyan, ganyan. Ngayon, since you are the spokesperson, you are actually representing the House of Representatives. So, that would become whatever you are going to say, you are going to bind the 19th Congress. So ngayon, pag magsasalita ka at titirahin mo yung Senate, ibig sabihin, tinitira mo yung Senate as an institution din. Ganon. And I think, kaya nga sabi ko, bad decision talaga itong ginawa nila. Ay, kasi I'm pretty sure itong si Princess Abante, ano lang yan political accommodation lang yan Dahil natalo si Benny Abante, wala nang role si Benny Abante. Diba? O sige, ito gawin nating spokesperson to. Because I'm pretty sure they want Princess Abante to be popular. Para pagkatulog mo yan sa susunod na election, baka sakaling manalo. So they are just giving brownie point to this person. Just so maging makilala siya. So kaya yung binigyan ng very, very short stint. I mean, just po naman, mag-spokesperson ka pa, tapos na yung 19th Congress, di ba?
Pero have you, pero ako din kasi, parang din yan there's an unwritten but very cardinal rule, yung parliamentary courtesy between the two co-equal
which he doesn't understand, correct.
And this is the only time I think na yung Senate at yung Congress will engage in this theatrics ba and the lower house noon kasi mga kongresista talaga and very academic yung debate kahit nagsasagutan sa media pero ngayon because technically the Senate didn't kill the bill they just proposed during the BICAM na instead of 200 100 lang. Ako naman din amenable having been an entrepreneur all my life, Joey. Yung 200 pesos na across the board na increase, maraming matatamaan yun.
It's going to kill a lot of small businesses.
Although may mga exemptions dyan, hindi rin yan po pwede na i-apply mo across the board talaga all over. No? But in any case, pwede namang pag-usapan yan. Sabi pa ni Princess, di daw nakikipag-usap yung Senado.
That's just very stupid remark. I mean, parang Tanga ka, Bex. Yung mga ganun hindi mo dapat sinasabi yun. You do not say anything that will attack the institution, okay?
Right.
That will, you know, hindi dapat ganun yung tenor ng pagkakasabi mo. Eh talagang gagawa ka ng 24 na kalaban diyan. 'Di ba? Gagawa ka ng, well, ngayon 23 silang senador. Gagawa ka ng 23 na kalaban diyan. 'Di ba? But anyway, I'm not going to complain, bitch. 'Di ba?
Of course.
Tuloy mo lang para wala kang career, 'di ba? Tuloy mo lang yung prinsesa, sige tama yung ginagawa mo.
Tuloy mo lang para marami kaming content.
Oo, tuloy mo lang para di ka manalo kahit kailan. Diba?
pero
Feeling mo, ang galing mo eh, di go.
pero na-bypass si Jay Ruiz ha sa Commission on Appointments ha.
Really? I didn't know that. Hindi ako
na-confirm,
updated. Hindi siya na-confirm.
Hindi.
Alam mo, sobrang pathetic ni Jay Ruiz. There was a photo na kumakalat na pinapayo. This guy is holding on to the possession. Like
Literally.
Literally. Yes. Lahat ng pwede niyang he attended the TRICOM hearing noong yung last na yung
Yeah.
the one that closed that wrap up the TRICOM hearing, yung June 5. Nag-usap-usap kami. At saka kuda si Jay Ruiz, ganyan. Ang dami-dami niya sinasabi. Tapos yung tali-talinuhan talaga siya, and na-expose talaga na how stupid he is. And I realized, kasi ito di ba, yung kaka-appoint pa lang dyan kay Jay Ruiz, ang dami ng mga pasabog na meron siyang mga questionable contracts with PCSO, mga ganyan. At ang nag-expose mga media company rin, mga news organization. Hindi nanggaling sa vloggers yun. Nanggaling yun sa mga peers niya. Diba?
Na-pick up lang ng mga vloggers.
Pero ang naglabas nun, mainstream media. So kaya nung time na yun, parang sabi ko, bakit hindi bet ng mga peers niya si Jay Ruiz? Bakit galit? Bakit parang yung mga nasa yung mga nakakausap ko ng mga PR people, hindi nila bet si Jay Ruiz, ganyan. So anyway, so ano na nga, madami ng mga issue na lumalabas sa kanya and things like that. Pagkatapos parang nagtataka ako, sabi ko, bakit nandito yan sa TRICOM? Bakit Ang sabi ng matalinhagang ibon, kaya raw nagpunta yan sa TRICOM kasi gusto raw magpasikat. Na parang ito about fake news, about kasi it's a PR thing eh, 'di ba? Yung public communication kasi dahil fake news kineme. So parang gusto niyang ibida yung mga ginagawa niya in order to manage the fake news against the administration. Kasi mga suggestions talaga ni Jay Ruiz, so parang ano pinag-iisip nito? Tapos he was comparing Meta and social media platform and the fake news peddler to an individual going to a mall and buying fake stuff. So sabi niya, dapat daw may pananagutan ng mga social media platform pagdating sa mga fake news. Kasi daw para lang daw itong katulad ng pupunta ka ng mall tapos bibili ka ng bag, pagkatapos yung bag na binili mo counterfeit. Eh di ba raw may pananagutan daw dun yung mall pagka ganon. And that really, parang, oh my God, Jay Ruiz, you are so stupid! Just me. Parang, ano ba naman yan, Jay Ruiz? Diyos ko po na, kaya pala hindi ka nire-respeto ng peers mo.
Tama. Pero what about this new expose? Na yung anak niyo si Tiangco na si Jager pala is the one running the troll farm.
That is that is our second topic for today. Actually, yan talagang isa rin gusto kong pag-usapan ngayon eh. Diyos ko, nakakaloka.
Oh, grabe no?
Well, let me just parang i-update lang muna yung mga viewers natin tungkol dito sa baliting.
Update mo muna, okay.
Yes. Update ko muna sila. Okay. 2 days ago, yesterday there was an article from OpenAI. Yung Explain PH actually is parang parang newsletter ng news website ng OpenAI. Ayun. Okay, so nag-publish sila ng news item. Nag-publish sila ng news item and teka lang ha, i-pull up lang natin very very quick. Ito, okay. So nag-publish sila ng news item. At ang sabi nila dito, si OpenAI binan yung PH users tied to AI-generated pro-Marcos campaign. So ngayon, ang sabi dito, ang tawag dito, ayan, OpenAI has banned several ChatGPT accounts operating from the Philippines for generating coordinated social media content that supports President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and attacks Vice President Sara Duterte. Ayan. The comment sections are also filled with pre-written praises from inauthentic accounts with no followers and original posts. The same strategy appeared in news posts from mainstream outlets such as ABS-CBN using fake accounts. So, this is not just Bongbong Marcos, pro-Bongbong Marcos campaign. ABS-CBN is also doing this. Diyos ko, ABS-CBN, sagot! Ayan.
Reuters expose 2.0, Joey.
Correct, oo. These profiles lack friends, timeline activity, signs of genuine engagement, and were found to have been created only around December 2024. OpenAI said the campaign followed a methodical process of analyzing contents, generating replies, and drafting promotional materials that exaggerated its effectiveness. The promotional pitches claimed the campaign has achieved high reach and engagement, likely to impress current or potential clients. Ito. Investigators named the operation High Five in reference to the upbeat tone, frequent emoji use, and pro-Marcos comments. Although the campaign published large volume of comments, most of them failed to attract likes, shares, and replies from real social media users. And I think, kaya ako, anong tawag dito? Okay, kaya ako sa totoo lang, hindi ako insecure dyan sa mga yung mga number of followers na yan. I never boosted my social media accounts, any of them. Never. So,
Same
kung
as me.
Yeah, correct. So, kaya tako sila sa atin, kuyang eh. Kasi yung engagement natin authentic.
Even with the restrictions, ha?
Even with the restrictions, correct. Even with the restrictions, ayan. So, anyway, ito na nakakaloka.
Sige. Next na.
Ayan. Sorry. Asan na yun?
Yeah, next right. Yan.
Ito. It's June 5 report. OpenAI identified Com and Sense Inc., a marketing and public relations firm based in Makati as the group behind this propaganda.
Propaganda talaga yung term, ha?
Yes. This marks one of the first publicly documented cases where a Philippine firm has been directly linked to an artificial intelligence-driven political influence campaign. According to OpenAI, the banned accounts were part of the covert effort that used artificial intelligence to generate partisan messages designed to shape public opinion online. The firm The firm reportedly used ChatGPT to analyze political discourse, identify pro-Marcos narrative, and mass produce short social media comments in both English and Filipinos. Ayan. Ito pa, these comments are few, anyway. OpenAI found 5 TikTok channels tied to the operation, began posting identical videos in mid-February, each with different caption to give the illusion of originality. Ayan. Okay. So, ayun na nga. So, sino si Common and Sense? Si Common and Sense, eto yan, pagka ginugol mo yan, makita mo yung office niya, ayan, 6764 Ayala Avenue. Ito yung office. Tricom? Wala tayong gagawin dito, mga putang ina nyo. Galit na galit kayo sa fake news, pagpapakalat ng propaganda. Eto. Sige nga, sabihin nyo this is fake news. Sabihin nyo sa CEO ng ChatGPT, ng OpenAI.
Pero ang nakakabahala dyan, Joey, nakaka-alarma dyan, itong si Jigger Tanco, ay anak ni bilyonaryo Yossi Tanco, na crony ni Marcos, na siyang may-ari ng kanilang campaign HQ, na may-ari naman ng STI College, na unang naging tanyag sa kanilang pag-offer ng mga IT courses. But more than that, Joey, Yossi Tanco, the father of Jigger Tanco, is now the chief executive officer, the chairman of the board of DigiPlus, who operate Bingo Plus, the most popular online casino. Ka-korporasyon niya, si Albi Benitez, na ngayon ay isang kandidato for speakership.
Yes.
Ngayon naman, di ba may yung Becoming Filipino na post, no nakita niya yung chuper na nag-load ng load, di ba? Tayo
Ang ganda
ni
ng
Sas,
transition natin, Kuya Ibia.
ha?
Ang ganda ng transition natin, papunta talaga dito. Papunta talaga dyan yung, yan yung last topic ko eh.
Di ba kasi tayo ni Sas, di ba? Tayo ni Sas talagang grabe, anti-online gambling talaga tayo. In fact, ang aking ads sa YouTube, no? Talagang ni-restrict ko yung casino, alcoholic beverage, tsaka cigarettes. Talagang gambling lahat. Kaya mababa yung ads revenues ko kasi ang malaking ads talaga yung gambling eh. So ni-restrict ko talaga kasi talagang hindi ko talaga yung nakakaano talaga yung online. So ngayon, makikita mo na ngayon, Joey, pag if you connect the dots, no, these people are actually operating, no, an entire business, no, based sa social media platforms, based sa internet. So ngayon, nasaan na ngayon yung TRICOM? Pag ikaw ba, Joey, nag-convene ulit kasi sabi ni Abante, leave to the young guns yung Quadcom or TRICOM. Ako talaga, pag pinatawag ako, pupunta talaga ako doon. Talagang we will use it as an itong expose na to ng OpenAI.
True. Eto nga no, I would just like to go back a little bit Kuyang doon sa sinabi mo na itong si Common and Sense Inc. Yung anak nito na si Yager Tangko ay anak ng bilyonaryo na Marcos Crony. And ayun nga na they're also the owners of STI and they're also very very involved doon sa DG Plus. So kumbaga parang makita na natin dito na this is one big incestuous family ano.
Right.
Sila din. Sila din. 'Di ba? Grabe talaga. And I mean, those young kids who are listening to us right now, I would just like to tell you guys that this is the same group who develop and propagandize yung Sarah Fiona.
Oh, yun.
Fiona yan. 'Di ba? Ito rin 'yon. So ngayon, kayong mga bagets, wag nyo kaming tinuturuan kasi kayo naniwala kayo dito sa AI generated na propaganda. 'Di ba? Kayong mga bagets, wag nyo kaming tinuturuan pagdating sa politics. Sa totoo, and I'm really saying this with all honesty and with all love and care. Sa totoo lang. I am not saying that the younger generation should not talk about politics, okay? You should talk about politics, but do not ever think that what you know is something that we should just adopt. Ganon. The younger generation has a lot of sa totoo lang ha. And hindi kasi nare-real talk yung mga yung mga batang generation eh. You grew up with a very very actually kasalanan din to ng generation natin no kasi in-enable din natin yung mga bata na hindi magsalita ka lang, hindi tama yung sinasabi mo, mga ganyan. But I think it's very important na yung mga matatanda rin kasi like tayo, kailangan nyo rin talagang i-real talk yung mga bata. Lalo na pagka when they are saying things that, no, why do you think that? Question them. Kapag kunwari may sinasabi sila about bakit mo naman naisip yan? Bakit sa tingin mo ganyan yung opinion mo? Ganyan. It's time for, it's time for older generation. Tayo, yung mga millennial, marami rin mga parents sa mga edad natin eh. Tigil-tigilan na natin yung, the world is your oyster. Na kahit hindi, pag-isip, matalino ka, you are the best, kineme. No, I think that's very dangerous, no? You should start questioning your children. Kasi itong mga batang ito yung mga madaling-madali ng mga ganitong klaseng information eh. They believe in an AI-generated propaganda. And this is the same generation with 95% with 500% increase
HIV infections.
In HIV infection. 95% of which is a male-to-male infection.
15 to 25 years old.
15 to 25 years old, correct. So, I think, meron ng ang tawag dito, there is a breaking news na si PRRD, yung defense team ni PRRD files an urgent request for interim release.
Oh, yun na yun. Okay. So, hindi nila inantay yung decision on the question of jurisdiction. Kasi sa tingin ko noon, Joey, antayin muna nila pag the court decides that hindi nag-acquire ng jurisdiction, automatic maipauwi si Digong, di ba? Pero pag mag-acquire sila ng jurisdiction, doon na sila hihingi ng interim release. no?
Oo.
Providing na uuwi muna pag mayor siya at pagka nakaschedule ng trial, pupunta doon sa The Hague para i-try. Ngayon, parang because of what's happening to the ICC now, the US sanctions and everything, so baka yun Okay.
Yeah. Well, kasi hindi naman kasi talaga required na ma-settle muna yung jurisdiction. Hindi naman siya, hindi siya condition sine qua non.
Right.
So, yeah. But anyway, I think, I think the defense team of PRRD are, kasi yun nga sabi, kagaya nga ng sinabi mo, pwede naman na parang maghintay sila after but they, nevertheless, they requested for the interim release of PRRD. So I'm pretty sure they are they have taken all the all the factors here and deemed it reasonable to request for the interim release of PRRD. Siguro mataas yung mataas din talaga ang chances that he's going
kasi
to be
lagi
released.
sinasabi ni Attorney Kaufman Joey na pag tinatanong siya about the filing of the request for interim release, lagi niyang sinasabi na it's a question of timing daw. There's a right timing for that. There's a right time for that. The conditions had to be there for us to file that. Parang ganun ba? So, tama ka, no? Maybe now they deemed it proper. The conditions are there, no? Timing. Maramang dyan, Joey, explanation at mga premise, bakit sila nag-request? Mayroon ba mga attachments or ano lang? Confidential ba yung mga
No, I don't think. Teka, tingnan natin sa page ni ICC. Wait, ICC.
Ngayon lang pala, June 12.
Bagong-bago lang, kuya.
With confidential annexes, A, B, and C. So, confidential yung annexes.
Yung ibang okay. So, tingnan natin what they can, what are the, okay. Ito. Public redacted version of urgent request. Okay. Nakikita nyo? Nakikita mo, kuya?
Yes.
Okay.
Malalakyan mo pa ba yan? Page
ayan, ito kuya. Yan. Okay. Ayan. So, respectfully request in accordance with Article 60, Paragraph 2 of the Rome Statute, interim release. The government has expressed to the defense its advance and principled agreement to receive Mr. Duterte.
Meron na palang territory.
Oo, pero hindi pa nila sinasabi kung ano.
Yes. Kasi yun ang requirement, sabi ni Attorney Kaufman.
Yeah,
that should be a state willing to accept.
So, correct.
But it doesn't mean na it is a different state than his country of origin.
Yes.
It could be the Philippines. It could be Timor-Leste.
Correct. Ayan. Has expressed to defense its advance and principled agreement to receive Mr. Duterte onto its territory for the term of his interim release and will act in accordance with his domestic law to implement such condition as deemed appropriate by Pretrial Chamber 1. Inter partes discussion on interim release commenced between counsel and the chief prosecutor himself immediately after the initial appearance. Since then, since the chief prosecutor's leave of absence, the prosecution has confirmed its non-opposition to the interim release. Okay.
Oh my God! They're not opposing. Holy shit, Joey!
Actually, tawag dito? To be honest, I already know this.
Yeah, I know.
I already know this.
I know.
Yung if you're gonna go back doon sa siguro yung live ko I was talking about this na
nag-post ka nga noon nung nandun si Sen Aimee. Double agent ka talaga.
Double agent talaga. So medyo alam ko na to. It's just that it is really, I don't think it is proper for me to parang I think these are the things that we should just sabay-sabay nating malaman. Oo.
Pero Joey, before you proceed, I just would like to make mention sa mga nakikinig natin dito. Merong statement si Inday sa Malaysia na kaya daw niya tangay-tangay si Sen Aimee. Parang hinostage daw niya. Kasi yung kapatid daw niya, ang naglagay kay PRRD doon sa The Hague, dapat si Sen Aimee daw ang makapabalik kay PRRD doon sa Davao City. At hindi raw niya bibitiwan si Sen Aimee, talagang tatangay-tangay niya kung saan siya pupunta hanggat hindi maiuwi si PRRD doon sa Davao City. At ngayon, timing, kasi kanina yun Ngayon meron na sa ICC.
Correct.
Wow.
Ayan. So,
I cannot hide my joy, ha, even if I already had an inkling and everything,
yeah.
especially reading it na hindi nag-oppose yung prosecutor.